It's 7:06 East African time. This is the Black Hot Fire News Update with me, Dimori. I'll be telling you about each and everything that has been happening, of course, throughout the whole of Africa today. I have news from all over Africa, news from Botswana, news from Somalia, news from Zimbabwe with Mnangagwa getting more sanctions. I'm going to be telling you about each and everything that has been happening throughout the whole of Africa. And of course, it is the 4th of April 2024. It is a rather cold evening in Kenya. It has been a bit of a cold evening, but a hot day. So welcome to the show. I'll be here for the next 30 minutes telling you about each and everything that was happening. Of course, as I said, we're going to be looking at the South African Speaker of Parliament who appeared in court today and was charged with corruption. But the funny thing is she was allegedly bribed with, amongst other things, a wig. I'm going to be telling you about that and how she has resigned and she's facing corruption charges. We're also going to be looking at how Zimbabwe has once again declared drought a disaster, asking for foreign aid. It is asking the international community to intervene, or else the people of Zimbabwe are going to die of hunger. We're also going to be looking at South Sudan, where the South Sudanese president, his name is Salva Kiir, is pushing for the elections to be held. It is a bit funny because he's doing the opposite of what was being done in Senegal. So the Senegalese president was pushing the elections to be was postponing the election to a later date. Salva Kiir is asking the lawmakers to not dare push the elections any further. Looks like this man is really tired of Sudan and wants to have the elections as soon as possible. We're also going to be looking at Kenya, where after the fake fertilizers saga, and I should not be calling them fake fertilizers because they were not fake fertilizers, they were sand. After the government sold 2,000 bags of sand, allegedly 2,000, it was more than that, but the government said 2,000. After the government sold more than 2,000 bags of sand to farmers, claiming that it was fertilizers, the government spokesman Isaac Mwaura today has said that nobody is going to resign. There is no need for anyone to resign over the fake fertilizer saga because it is being taken care of. He also went ahead to say that the doctor strike is being politically instigated to sabotage the government. So instead of him looking for solutions on the striking doctors, he has said that it is politically instigated and they're going to deal with it. We're also going to be looking at Somalia, where Somalia is having a dispute with Ethiopia over a port deal. There has been a tension that has been rising. I'll be telling you about the tension that has been rising in Somaliland and Ethiopia, with Somali's president Hassan Sheikh Mohamud having a row with Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. So I'll be telling you about that in a bit. Also going to be telling you about why the US is sanctioning Zimbabwe's president Mnangagwa. The US has been throwing sanctions at Zimbabwe's president. His name is Emmerson Mnangagwa, and instead of them affecting the president, what they have done is affected Zimbabwe's economy. Why are they throwing sanctions at him? I'm going to be telling you that in a bit. I'm also going to be telling you about how Botswana is threatening to send 20,000 elephants to Germany as a token, as a gift. So President Mkongweetsi Masisi is offering to send 20,000 elephants as a gift to Berlin. Why is he sending it? Because there has been a dispute between Botswana and Germany, Berlin, over hunting trophies. So that is why he has said he's gonna send 20,000 elephants to Berlin. So I'm gonna be telling you about that and much more. And you can talk to me on the comments. That is, I'm live on Black Hot Fire Network page on YouTube and the Keith Newsom page, and on our Facebook page, and of course on the radio station. So you can also talk to me. And let us start with the news that I did not want to be reading, where a South African Parliament speaker, the Speaker of Parliament in South Africa, she is a lady. Her name is Nosiviwe Mapisa Nkakula, was arrested on Thursday over allegations that she received bribes and a wig. So this woman was bribed with a wig, and of course some other bribes, amongst other bribes. So she had to resign, and she was arrested yesterday, and she actually turned herself to the police in the capital Pretoria on Thursday and was taken to the Pretoria Magistrate Court, where she was released on a 2,670 US dollar bail. She was charged with 12 counts of corruption and 1 count of money laundering. Mapisa Nkwaita, who's the speaker, maintained her innocence and suggested the charges against her were politically motivated, with the country set to hold national elections later this year. So she pulled out the political instigated card. The development follows weeks of controversy over allegation that Mapisa Nkwakula received a wig, amongst other things, including 11 cash payments from a defense contractor when she was Minister of Defense between 2016 and 2019. Her Johannesburg home was raided by law enforcement officials, and she was informed that the state intended to charge her with 12 counts of corruption and money laundering. She resigned as Speaker of Parliament and as a lawmaker days after failing in a court bid to block her arrest. She told the court on Thursday that she was not a flight risk and she would not escape South Africa if she was released on bail. Prosecutors did not oppose her application for bail, and that is why she was granted bail. So I know we talk about a lot of things, but this one shocked me. I've heard of corruption scandals in Africa, but I've never heard of a corruption scandal involving a wig. And we are talking about a very senior political figure in South Africa, the Speaker of Parliament. That is a very senior figure in the South African political scene. So she will be charged with corruption, 12 counts of corruption and 1 count of money laundering. Whether she's gonna get a jail term, we are gonna see that. But I don't think she will. But anyways, that is what was happening with the South African speaker, Nosiviwe Mapisa, who was bribed with a wig. In other news, let us head to Paris, France, where African migrants have been removed from the streets of Paris ahead of 100 days to Olympics. French police on Wednesday removed dozens of migrants, including families with young children, from the forecourt of Paris City Hall as the capital prepared to mark 100 days until the start of the Olympic Games. Police arrived at dawn to remove about 50 people, mostly women and children aged 3 to 10, who are bundled up in strollers under blankets and covered with plastic sheets to shield against the rain. So these are African migrants who are living on the streets in Paris, living in plastic sheet makeshift shelters. The migrants packed their belongings and boarded a bus to a temporary government housing in the town of Bensacol in eastern France. So these are African migrants who made their way to France, but they do not have a place to live. So they live in the streets in makeshift plastic houses. So now that Paris is going to hold the Olympics, the first thing that it did was to clear them off the streets. So they were cleared off the streets and bundled to a temporary government housing. So many of the families are from Burkina Faso, Guinea, Ivory Coast, and Senegal. Those are most of the immigrants that were living in the streets, in the makeshift structures, are from those countries, are from Burkina Faso, they're from Guinea, they're from Ivory Coast, and they're from Senegal. And I've never understood the reasoning behind going to live in plastic sheets in a foreign country. I mean, you have to deal with racism, and at the end of the day, you have to sleep in a plastic sheet. I don't think, in as much as they're from countries that, in as much as maybe Burkina Faso, Guinea, Ivory Coast, and Senegal, where they come from, is messed up, isn't it better? I'm sure if they were in those countries, if they were in Burkina Faso, if they were in Guinea, if they were in Senegal, they would not be living in plastic sheets, or they would not be getting racially abused. Never understood this obsession with the Western dream, this obsession with moving abroad even when you don't have a plan. You know, an Africa, they just want to leave their countries, no plan. They don't know what they are going to do. They don't have any networks in France. They don't have anybody they are going to, so they end up in the streets with no jobs, no documents, and of course, no food in most cases. So, what is the difference between starving in France and starving in Senegal? And I'm sure in Senegal you would not starve because it's your country and nobody is going to racially abuse you. I see right now in Nairobi, I see a lot of Congolese and Burundians around. There are so many Burundians and Congolese around hawking eggs, hawking beef smokies, hawking beef sausages, hawking. They're all around hawking coffee, you know. And I personally respect those people so much because at least those ones escaped from Burundi and came to Kenya, a place where they know nobody is going to racially abuse them, a place they know that nobody is going to, they're going to get respected, a place where they know people are going to treat them well because most Africans are accommodating. I was in Uganda and they are accommodating. That is, if you're not from Nigeria. I don't know why most African countries do not like Nigerian people, but that is not the discussion today. I have nothing against the Nigerian people who majority of them are good, but they have a few crooks who make them look bad. So those Burundians, those Congolese who sell coffee in Kenya and mandazis and bake cakes in the streets, I think I should host one in my shows. I'm sure they're living better than the Senegalese who are in France, living in makeshift structures, and they're now getting taken out of the streets because Paris is holding the Olympics. You know, they're being bundled in buses, and you know, it's like they are cleaning the streets of rubbish and garbage, and they are taking them together with the rubbish and the garbages. I don't see the point of you going to get disrespected in Burkina, you know, in France. It is one thing to move out of Africa and go to the West. Maybe if you have a plan, if you have a job, if you have somebody, maybe you have a relative living in the UK and you just want to go and try life there. It is one thing to try and look for greener pastures when you have a plan, but it is another thing to go and look for greener pastures without a plan. You know, you just want to leave Africa, and most of them go by the sea, the ocean, you know. If you don't die, then you reach there and you have no job, you have nothing. You are escaping poverty into now poverty with racism added in it. So you are poor and also getting abused and not getting respected by anybody because nobody is going to respect you at the end of the day. And a big shout out to General Mosquito who's with me. So I've never really gotten the reasoning of going abroad when you don't have a plan. And that is why we are seeing cases like this of African getting. So I'm reporting on how African migrants were removed from the streets of Paris because Paris is holding Olympics in the next 100 days. So as they were cleaning the streets, they also cleaned the African immigrants who are living in the streets. So in as much as I may want to defend them, I've still never understood why you would. In as much as Africa is messed up, in whichever way it is, don't you think it is more dignifying to suffer in Africa than to suffer abroad? I mean, you're still suffering there. We are not talking about people who went to France and had better lives. They are there, but they are living in the streets. We don't even have people in Nairobi living in streets. I mean, they live in slums, but I've never seen them living in the streets. So I really don't understand that. Anyway, Zimbabwe has once again, in other news, Zimbabwe has once again pleaded with the international community to help them, or else so many people are going to die of hunger. They actually said more than 80% of the country is in the risk of dying of hunger. So they say that more than 80% of the country receive below normal rainfall, and therefore they are pleading with the community to help them with aid. And I doubt they are going to help them with what is happening with Emmerson Mnangagwa, who's getting sanctioned by the United States of America. I'm going to be telling you about why Emmerson Mnangagwa is getting sanctioned, and he has received so many sanctions from the US government, but instead of the sanctions affecting him, which they thought he would, the sanctions are in.
The sanctions because they're gonna get the white people back the land that they stole from Africa. That's why. That's why.
Come again, Keith.
Zimbabwe is getting sanctioned
Mm-hmm.
because they will not give back the land that white people stole from them. Black people took back their land 20
Mm-hmm.
years ago. And white people, unlike African people, white people unite. They know they want people. So they put sanctions on them because the Africans had the audacity to get their land back. Like no other African has done it. Zimbabwe's the only African people said, fuck that. We went to war with these white people to get our shit back. We're going to take our shit back. That's why the IMF, the World Bank, and America all have sanctions on them. That's why.
So I really don't even understand why Amason Mnangagwa is pleading with the same institutions to help them with their drought, considering the fact that they are sanctioning him. So I'm sure they're not going to help him.
No. White people, everything's about race first. Black people haven't learned it. Black people, especially in Africa, with that stupid tribal shit. They tribe first and not they race first. They haven't learned to be African first, black first. Fuck your tribe. Your tribe don't mean shit. Your tribe is weak and fucked up. White people don't do that. You gotta know about your race. Your race is where your power, your unity. Shout out to that lady who was there yesterday, that Congolese lady. That's a fact. Your strength is in your unity. That's why they divided you. Conquered. Divide and conquer. Africans have kept that divide shit going on. So that's why they say to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe had the audacity to take back what belonged to them. And South
So what
Africa
they
scared to
say,
do it if it's scared of those sanctions.
the propaganda that they said, this is what the United States said in a statement, that it was placing sanctions because of allegedly corruption, human rights abuses, and election rigging. So it imposed sanctions on Mnangagwa and 11 other
There's always
Zimbabwean
a fake, always a fake human rights shit with these fake people. They want to come steal your land, commit mass genocide. These ones are the arbitrary of human rights, Damari. You crazy? These wicked ass people are going to be the arbitrary of human rights. Just like I said, you see, I said with all those human rights things up in was that Niger or Mali about those civilians getting murdered. You ain't heard nothing from it no more because people knew it was a damn lie. That's what they do. Human rights. They don't give
So
a shit about African people. Human rights. They got African. Go ahead.
I'm looking at the statement that the US released, and they remembered to add this line in it. The line says, the US is the largest provider of humanitarian aid to Zimbabwe, providing more than 3.5 billion in aid from the country's independence from British colonial rule in 1980 until 2020. They have to add that you know what, we are the biggest provider of humanitarian aid to you, so you have to listen to us.
No, you don't. Why they put sanctions? Say how long? Look, say how long is? Put some on Google. How long has Zimbabwe been under international sanctions, Damori? It's got to be about 20 years now.
Yeah, I think it was from 2003, thereabouts.
All right. So how you give me aid and you the one sanctioning me? What are you talking about? Tell these crackers are two-faced liars. The devil talk. Hey, Zimbabwe, like any African country, doesn't need aid, Jamari. Mm-hmm. No aid for nobody white. They don't got shit. Everything they got is from stealing in Africa. They don't need any aid. How you give me aid and you sanction me at the same time? You robbing me and then you're supposed to give me money. What are you talking about? How crazy is cat shit? Robbing me, but you give me money too. Get out of here.
So that was what was happening in Zimbabwe with more sanctions. So the US has imposed more sanctions from the previous one that were imposed in 2003, if I'm not wrong. I'll confirm the year. So it has imposed more sanctions, including traveling ban on Mnangagwa.
That's it, because when they got the land back, because it took them, and this is how bad it took the Africans 20 years after winning the war against these white people to finally get the land back. Because white people never gonna get the land that they stole. Never. That's why Namibia. In South
And
Africa, white people own the majority of land.
I think one of the greatest enemies we have, especially in Africa, is the global magnet. It's called the Global Magnitsky Act that authorizes the U.S. government to sanction foreign governments officials worldwide for alleged human rights abuses, corruption. And I've never understood this pure than thou mentality that the U.S. has.
It's not
Holier
a
than
pure than
thou,
thou. It's not a
holier
pure
than
than thou.
thou.
But it's not that. They don't give a shit about none of that. They're not. They don't got a holier than thou attitude. They
Because
do what I tell you. They do
how
what
are
I
you
tell you.
sanctioning
Because
somebody of corruption
because
and the
because
US itself is corrupt to the core?
well, yeah, because you do what the fuck I tell you. That's why it's about power. You're missing the one attribute: power. Power. I have power. You don't. You shut your damn mouth and do what the hell you're told to do. Then when you don't do what you're told to do, I rain furious justice on your ass. Y'all call. But America can do that because the cats and small hats run it and they get to print money from nothing. If you get to print money from nothing and the world accepts it, then you have power. So who gave America the right to print money from nothing? The military did. So that's why. But even if they put sanctions on you as a good African leader, if you know how to run your country, you wouldn't give a shit about no sanctions. Fuck your sanctions. You learn to be self-sufficient. First thing you do, you go and you change the education system. 20 years. They got me in sanctions, okay? I got with my babies. I know most of my older people are colonized, their minds are fucked up. But I got now to take these babies and I got to educate them right. In 20 years, they're going to pull me out of whatever sanctions America put me in. I'm going to develop industry with these children. First, I got to make sure they don't assassinate me. Every coon, bootlick, handkerchief head family member, I got to get rid of them. Make sure I got good people around me. And I just develop. Then real develop. I'm not stealing money. Now I'm not benefiting from the country's wealth. I don't need to be rich. No, that thing. I'm more worried about my people and the country as a whole. So I don't need nothing. My job is to make sure the next generation in 20 years they say, America, go kiss my ass. Sanction who? I got the gold. I got the cover. You'll get none of it. I've developed my country in such a way to make African leaders as children. They learn to be leaders, not to be followers, not to be worshiping white. All white shit gone. From every white commercial, every white goddamn TV, every white culture is gone, and it is goddamn outlawed. All that shit is gone. All of it. But not be allowed in Zimbabwe as long as I'm president. None of that shit. It's gonna be African first. You're gonna be and all your tribal shit, that's gone. That's abolished. Anybody practicing tribalism, I'm locking your ass up. You African first. You don't get down with the program, the children I got to tell it, they're young. They'll get it. Your parents talking that dumb shit, I'm locking their ass up. Talking about harsh treatment. I'm pulling Africa out of the damn dark ages. We not buying no old ass trains for 30 years ago. Ain't no Chinese coming, mine not come. All these kids that are we're gonna make engineers, doctors. We're gonna make these engineers build our roads, build our trains, innovate. Because a black child's mind is a sponge. They'll innovate anything once they're given the opportunity. So you believe in your children, your youth, they will take you out of the sanctions. But these niggas are too backwards, too cowardly, too enslaved in the mind. They don't even trust their own people. That's why they keep losing. They scared. Oh, the white man. The white man worships shit that goes on in Africa. Everybody's a bootlick. Shit, they ain't told you that. They ain't already told you that you're true, that your Jesus is black. So if your God is black now, what are you scared of now? Whether he existed or not. They tell you now that your Jesus is black. You niggas can't even accept that. What do you mean? Jesus is not white. I can't love the white man. He's not the best. No, you moron. Shit.
And let us move away from Zimbabwe with their dramas and sanctions. And
He said
head
that
to
drama.
Botswana.
That drama. Oh, you,
Their drama, their theatrics. I call them theatrics, political theatrics. Let us head to Botswana, where there are more theatrics, where Botswana's president, his name is Mogwetsi Masisi, has
what is
threatened
that?
to send
That's the,
20,000 elephants
that's
to
the
Germany.
elephants again? Yeah, it's the
Yep.
elephants. It's the moron. Hey, moron.
So let me give
Told
you a
you.
little bit of context
You
on
gonna
what
tell
has
me
been
about
happening.
you gonna tell me about the elephants. I already know, but go ahead. So,
Let me give you a little bit of context on what is happening in Botswana. So apparently, Botswana, it is legal to trophy hunting is legal in Botswana. It was banned in 2014, but it was later re-established in 2019. So it is legal, and one of the countries that are the main that import trophies, that is the elephant tusk, is Germany. And Germany has been putting restrictions on, it has said that it's going to ban import of elephant tusks for what it says was a lot of illegal poaching. And this angered Botswana's president Mogwetsi Masisi, who said, I'm going to send 20,000 elephants to you so that you know how hard it is to live with elephants. So he has,
you
once
know,
again, it's the second
he's
time,
a he's a
threatened to send.
moron. How about he's a moron? We have problem with elephants. How about you? See, this how I want to tell you. That's what I told you. Leadership in the primary schools will be my main first thing. No more fucking morons. We're not turning out no fucking morons. Especially to be no. Even if you get a bootlick, he can't be a moron like this moron. All you gotta do, since they depleted elephants in Western Africa, you go give some elephants to the other African countries that had this depleted by the white man, you moron. All you gotta do. The countries that need elephants in Africa, because they was all over Africa at one time, you talk to them, say, hey guys, I have extra elephants that may be causing harm. You want to get rid of the population? You repopulate them in the other parts of Africa, stupid. Of course you're too stupid. Then you take the hides, you moron, since the hides are expensive, and the tusk, you make that in the jewelry and you sell it at a high cost. You make manufacture out of it for your people who don't have jobs in Botswana, you idiot.
In his defense, in Masisi Mogwetzi's defense, he might argue that he has given 8,000 elephants to Angola and 5,000 to Mozambique.
So what? Two countries or what? It's 57 countries in Black Africa. What are you talking about? I gave some to Angola and Mozambique.
8,000 to Mozambique.
They got to smack you in the head. How many other countries you got around? What about Namibia? What about goddamn Congo? What about Zimbabwe? What about damn Central African Republic? What about Republic of Congo? The other Congo? What about Gabon? What about Cameroon? What about Nigeria? What about Central African Republic? Huh? What about Guinea? What about Guinea-Bissau? What about Equatorial Guinea?
The original cause of the row was the original cause of the rivalry of the back and forth between Botswana and Germany is because Germany is telling Botswana to stop the trophy hunting of the elephants.
Yeah.
And the president, the Masisi, is saying that it is not a joke living with elephants together. So
the joke is that he's getting paid by these white people to kill elephants. That's his kickback. This no good puppet. I already told you, for all the money. He's getting kickback. It ain't going to Botswana and people's going in his pocket, his family's pocket, so they want to stop it. That's why.
So as of now, Botswana has 130,000 elephants as of now. But if you minus the 20,000 that is threatening to send to Germany, and of course, with the fact that now trophy hunting is legal in Botswana, then you can tell the number is going to go down in the next few years.
Yeah, because they're going to make their money, then they're going to deplete it, and he's going to destroy his own economy. Because they can have tourism, like African countries, because people want to come see elephants. He's a moron. So he's hurting people because it's going in his pockets. This short-term bullshit is going in. He's a moron. You can't have these many morons throughout Africa. This is absolute. It's another goddamn moron.
By the way, there are only 7,000 elephants in Uganda. He might consider donating elephants to Uganda, Kenya.
I just said that Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania. That's all you gotta do. But he's not getting paid like that. He wasn't getting paid with him hunting the shit. There's no good boot-looking coon. I can't stand these goddamn African bootlicks. Every last one of them gotta go.
That is Botswana with the elephant.
Botswana, one of the poorest countries in Africa. You poor ass nigga, you need to worry about getting people out of poverty, you ridiculous ass nigga, you.
Let us now look at South Sudan.
Hold on. Nah, damn that. We'll pull up Botswana's GDP. I know they're impoverished. White people control all the diamonds and everything else over there. White people still got most of the land in Botswana.
20 billion.
20 billion? That's it?
Yep.
Motherfucking poor as hell. Shut up, you impoverished ass nigga. 20 billion, your damn GDP. I need to show the elephants. You moron. Get your people out of poverty first, idiot. 20 billion. Yeah, 20 billion. Jeez. Country poor as hell. 20 billion is the GDP. Shit, goddamn. 20 billion.
Let me check the comments real quick. Jiba Jaba is with me, and he's saying just how blacks couldn't be on American television. He was talking about what you were talking about earlier, and he's saying an elephant hide coat would be dope. Elephants hide boots, work gloves would be tougher than steer hide. So
exactly.
Jiba Jaba is talking about elephant hide coat and.
That's what I just said. He can make a manufacturer for his people. Don't deplete them. Breed them.
Yeah, put
quotas. Exactly. Breed them. Exactly. Breed them. I'm not fucking no hunt. Don't hunt them at all. Breed them. Then you can slaughter them. Either for meat, if they eat that shit. I don't want no elephant meat. They eat that goofy shit. But slaughter for me, because I know people are poor. $20 billion. The country's impoverished. It's a poor country. Okay? So it means the poor is backwards. So people got to eat that meat. So give them the bush meat, which is elephant. But take the hides, like Jibba Jabba said, and manufacture that. That's going to be a high-priced item, idiot. It gives your people jobs. Not giving white people the things to come hunt them, and you get your little kickback. But it's over and over and over and over again in Africa. Why do you think these puppets are there? Bad decisions after bad decisions that don't make any sense. Because they're all fucking morons. So purpose. I'm Zimbabwe, every white school is getting about my country. Every child, your job, this is the Bible, that's after school. Mandatory African leadership. You're going to learn to lead. You're going to learn to care about African people. You're going to learn to negotiate. No more morons are we putting out in the world. Even if you are a bootlick, you ain't going to be no moron. Talking stupid shit to people.
The elephants in retaliation killed an American tourist. There's a video that has been doing round. I don't know if you have seen it, of an American tourist who was killed by an elephant yesterday in Zambia. Here's the video in case you've not seen it.
I was fucking with it. Go ahead. What are they doing with it? Fucking with it? Out there by... Okay, what are they doing? Why are they out there by the elephant? Why are you out there with them?
Charge this vehicle in Zambia.
So let me replay the video with the audio.
Tonight, the terrifying moment a safari turned fatal for an American tourist. An 80-year-old woman killed, another woman seriously injured when a bull elephant charged this vehicle in Zambia Saturday. The victims' identities have not been made public. Local authorities now investigating the video. You can see the elephant beginning to trail the 6 safari goers and their guide in Kafu National Park.
Because, pause it. Elephants have a memory. See, animals are smart. Elephants have a long memory. They see white people who have hunted them. So see, the Africans are moron. He doesn't know who his enemies are. The elephants know white people are their enemies. Okay? They talk to each other throughout. See, you think there's a border and they're different. The elephants know they one elephant from Zimbabwe to Kenya. They talk to one another. And they know these white people have been hunting them since they got to the continent. You understand that? So the elephant knows the white people are their enemies, and so sometimes they attack knowing this. You don't think an animal is intelligent? I'm gonna tell you, an animal smart. It knows what the fuck has been hunting them, what's been doing stuff to them. And animals talk to one another. I know white people told you that animals can't talk. You're a goddamn knock. You're a moron. Animals talk to each other. And elephants have a long memory. Okay? So they go after white people because white people have been hunting them. That's why. Now these white people ain't been doing it, but so what? They don't know that. They're white. And I feel threatened by their ass.
This latest incident just weeks after another scare in South Africa. A bull elephant lifting this safari vehicle several feet in the air twice, dropping the truck and those inside. That tour operator telling ABC News that some tourists came too close to the elephant, trying to take pictures, irritating the creature.
I was scared for the people that was inside the truck because I knew that there's nothing anyone could do right now to help them.
The animal eventually losing interest. No one was injured in that incident.
I'm scared for the people. I'm scared about your white ass is there. You ain't supposed to be that part of the world. We're supposed to be born the elephant.
So that is today. I have to finish the show a little bit early. I'll finish at 8 because Kamlesh and Joby are coming up in a bit. So let us look at that was Botswana with the elephants, and Sudan is also serving its theatrics with South Sudan president doing the opposite of what African president do. So Salva Kiir has told the parliament not to dare extend his term. The parliament wanted to extend the period of transition, and Salva Kiir has.
You should know time ago. That's the old man that's out here pissing on himself.
Yeah, so he has ordered the parliament to not delay the polls this year. He warned the lawmakers against an extension of the period of transition. He argued that it would deny citizens an opportunity to choose their leaders. So he's doing the opposite of Macky Sall. Macky Sall wanted to extend his mandate. Salva Kiir is telling the parliament to not dare extend it because the parliament is seeking to extend it. The parliament speaker, her name is Jema Nunu, was talking about extending the transitional period, but Salva Kiir, I don't know what to think about this, Keith. Salva Kiir talking about warning the parliament against extending the period.
He's a puppet. He's old. They probably want to put their new puppet in line. That's the one out there pissing on himself. Public. So they probably got their new puppet all ready to go. So let him step down. He made the country better because, I bet their GDP is under 20 billion. That's dang. Let's look. What is South Sudan's GDP?
It is a very young country that gained independence.
I don't give a shit. What's their GDP?
It's a 13-year-old country, Keith.
Give me some damn excuse. When Singapore was 13 years old, it was rich. Why? So don't give me those 13-year-old. 13-year-old, but
it's 12 billion. It's 12 billion. GDP is 12 billion, which is very low considering they have a lot of oil wells in there.
I know. They're over and they're poverty. So they ain't got to do no 13 years. That's called bad leadership, erotic leadership. Ain't built nothing. Ain't did nothing. That's what happens to Moray. You got bad leadership after bad leadership. Everybody there. About so the GDP is as long as the country's been alive.
Yeah, the GDP is 1 billion per year. So, they might get to 100 in the next.
They got the country. They got the country, but you're having a civil war against against Sudan. That's why they split. Then they split and had another civil war inside the new country, South Sudan. Make that make sense? I have a civil war to make away from Sudan. Then I'm in South Sudan, supposed to then I have another civil war. You damn morons.
Shout out to South Sudan with their 1 billion GDP per year. 1 billion
Yeah.
with their 13 billion GDP and all their
But
oil
shit,
wells. So
that's what.
that is all the theatrics that Africa was serving us today. With African migrants being removed out of the streets of Paris ahead of 100 days to Olympics, they are being swept off with the rubbish and the garbage because they are dirtifying the streets of Paris, and the Olympics is coming up in the next 100 days. It is also a day where the South African speaker who was bribed, who received a wig for bribe, has
Right.
been charged in court, and she resigns. So
Got my wig. Got my wig tomorrow. Fuck you.
she's going to jail with her wig, and of course she
All
had other
right.
counts of corruption, 12 other counts, but the one that caught my eye was the wig. How do you get bribed? How do you receive a wig as a bribe as a senior political figure in South Africa? I mean,
You know
that's
why?
stupidness.
Oh,
It is also a day where Zimbabwe has continued to declare drought as a disaster, and it is asking for aid. It is also a day where South Sudan president is pressing on the parliament to hold elections as scheduled and not
ask
dare
for aid. They asked for aid tomorrow, and that machine is still out there. That water machine's still there tomorrow. Still there. Still there. So there don't have to be no drought. Nowhere, no damn Zimbabwe. They get free water all day and night. So why did they call that man? Why did they call him? I wonder why. It's a mystery. Shit crazy.
I don't have an answer to that also because I do not understand. Maybe the cell phone network is not working there.
Yeah. Oh shit. He could have sent the
Might
letter a
be,
long time ago.
might be,
Shit.
might be the cell phone. And
Yeah.
lastly, it is a day where the US has imposed more sanctions on Zimbabwe's Emerson Mnangagwa, who is not getting affected, by the way. He already has his billions in the bank.
Yeah.
And lastly, it is also the day where Botswana is threatening to send 20,000 elephants to Germany. That is according to the president Mogwetsi Masisi. So that is all I had today. Make sure to join Kamle Jobi in the next 10 minutes with, of
Because
course, the reggae jump.
you need to call this damn headline news the goddamn the countless morons of Africa. Shit crazy. Too many morons to count.
And a big shout out to Ikan Fire, who was with me, and Jiba Jaba agrees with me. Maybe we're judging Mnangagwa too harshly. They don't have international calling card. Maybe they don't have. Maybe he doesn't have they don't have cell phones over there.
Listen, Zimbabweans are pretty smart Africans. Why are they not? Even in Kenya, the droughts in Kenya. Why has a Ruto punk ass called for that water machine? No African leader called for that water machine that creates water from nothing.
They have IMF on the speed dial. They have IMF on the speed dial. Why would they do that?
But they want to bring Mr. Beast punk ass to do poverty porn. Look at Mr. Beast, the white man, saving these dirty niggas in Kenya and these dirty niggas in Zimbabwe. Look, oh, Mr. Beast. And they got the kids all lined up like poverty slaves. Look at all you kids, you wretched niggas. I'm bringing you water. What? All you had to do was go get that dude's machine that I showed you and that you seen tomorrow. Get his machine. You didn't have to pump no damn well. You had to send Mr. Beast punk ass and all the kids lined up.
Listen, kid, listen. The white man's water is wetter.
That's true.
That is
That's what
according
they
to
think.
Jim
That's right. That's what they think. White man's water's wetter. I don't need no nigga from America coming with no newfangled machine. We got to get Mr. Beast to dig wells so we can worship white people. Oh, Mr. Beast, you know good dirty cracker. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Beast. When you got the black man in America said, I'll get us to every African nation free and we'll manufacture there in Africa. for little to nothing, giving the African people jobs. And the water is free. You don't need no Mr. Beast on YouTube. See, that story about the black man that get no millions of views like Mr. Beast did, Demore, which is a better machine. You know why? Because he's a nigga. Hey, no. Mr. Beast is a big old thing. All the white people. You see how Mr. Beast came and helped these dirty niggas? Oh yeah, why couldn't the Africans do it themselves? Oh, you got African.
I don't even trust this breed of leaders, even with the. Even if they brought, I don't trust them totally. I wouldn't even trust their water. These African leaders, I would not trust their water.
But it ain't that water. You seen the guy? He bring it over there.
No,
he put it in the village. And
I understand the man who made the machine is a good man, but the African politicians, I do not trust them totally.
Of course not. But if he's there, he said, "Listen, there, we got to put these in these villages. We can't have no kickback scams going on here. We just gonna give them to the people. It's free water. But how long is this like for the rest of their life? You got to worry about now. They have people trying to vandalize the machine and tear it up because these politicians want these people to depend on them, not doing shit. So they see some man come over and actually build something that improves their lives. Hey, he's not asking for shit. He's giving you free water forever. And then when he manufactured, you teach the children that technology so they'll never lose. So if somebody does vandalize it, they can build it themselves. You teach the babies the technology so they can build it themselves. So no fucked up ass Kenyan politician can come and try to destroy the thing. So because he ain't getting no kickback with his filthy ass. You make sure the babies can do it. Go ahead.
That is, we have to come to a close, Keith. It is 7 minutes to the top of the hour. I really wish they would listen to you, but
I'm not the majority of you.
I might even steal one hydrogen atom from the water. I would never. Might be H1O. So anyway, join me tomorrow, family, on the Black Hot Fire News Update. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. It's always a pleasure.
When these bootlegs so we leave. When these bootlegs tell me about Jordan Africa, kick rocks, nigga. Fuck out of here. Don't need for no Jordan Africa. You sell that shit to your dumbass people. Oh, we got drought. We need the IMF and some more loans. Sell that shit to somebody that don't know. You. I'm enjoying what I'm showing today. I'm angry because
Jiba is telling me Job is flashing the lights on me. Nah,
I know
she's not. She's just getting ready for the reggae show in a minute.
Job in the back. Job in the back eating ugali and bread or some shit.
And Ziba Java actually agrees with me that they'll steal one hydrogen atom. Tinubu personally will steal one hydrogen atom. They'll sell H1O instead of H2O. Now you're dead.
I had to show them a little bit of Legos. I had to destroy Joby's and Damari's bad negative image of Nigeria shit. It ain't all bad. A lot of it's bad, but it ain't all bad.
I'm not trusting those brothers. I mean, it's all love, but I'm not trusting those brothers. Never. Ziba Jaba told you that if you go to the moon today, there's a Nigerian trying to scam aliens.
The sad fact about it, if you bought them water pumping things in Nigeria, they would take them and try to sell them on the internet as a scam. I got these water machines. How'd you get that water machine? Don't worry about it. I'm Nigerian. I'm selling them. Selling one for $1 million. You're no good damn Nigerian.
See you tomorrow, kid.
I'm okay. I'm gonna get Burner Boy Wiz Kid on your ass.
A big shout out to Ikan Fire, Jiba Jaba, General Mosquito, and everybody else who was with me on YouTube, and of course everybody else who's gonna watch this.
I don't want to say that. I'm gonna keep. Nah. I better keep that to myself. What's love, man? I better keep that to myself. What? What happened?
That
You
was
went
Joby
out.
telling you. That was
Anyway,
Joby telling you to keep it to yourself.
yeah, I was gonna say something. I better keep that to myself. I better keep.
Much love,
I better,
family.